Welcome to Candid Cops UK. Real stories, real duty. Life behind the badge.
This episode is from BP Visit, so make sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this video, BP goes to film in a public place using his camera and drone. Very quickly, a worker runs out, tells him to stop filming, and calls the police right away. When the officers arrive, one of them handles the situation very badly and wrongly tries to accuse BP of antisocial behavior just for filming in public. It turns into a clear example of poor policing.
Just make a little video on Botfree Group at the moment.
What for?
Oh, just for social media.
No, I don't want it done, thanks.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Well, it's our company and I'm asking you not to do it.
Well, I can see it from the road, so...
Yeah, well, can you not film, please?
Well, I will, but I will also...
Call the police for me, because you're not...
Call the police for someone with a camera?
Well, yeah, because you've done it to them over there.
Yes. And I got my drone as well, so we'll be sending the drone over to get some drone footage, so...
You're not doing it.
If you're doing 911, not 999, 101, sorry.
999.
999?
Yeah,
what are you going to report? A man with...
Please.
Oh, let me hear this. Man with a camera.
Please. It's harassment.
You've come out and harassed me, I'm not harassing you.
Hi there, and there's just on the industrial estate in Louth, and there's a strange chap walking around filming businesses and says he's sending drones up and taking footage and just, well, being pretty nosy.
The worker quickly calls the police, saying the auditor is acting strangely while filming businesses. But the auditor isn't doing anything wrong. He explains clearly why he is there and isn't hiding anything. The worker also claims he is being nosy, but being curious isn't a crime. Filming or taking photos in public is legal, and simply showing interest in a business isn't a reason to call the police. This is another example of someone wasting police time over something lawful just because they don't like it. Instead of staying calm and thinking clearly, the worker makes the situation bigger than it needs to be and doesn't understand public rights. When the police arrive, they pay more attention to feelings than the law and wrongly try to charge the auditor.
We've been called
Yep.
about somebody matching your description.
Absolutely, yeah, I'll give him the video. I'm stood there when he called. I think it's this one that called you, wasn't it?
So what's the crack? What's going on?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Sorry?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Okay, what's the purpose of the video?
My purpose, really.
No. What's the purpose of the video?
Sorry, no. My purpose, really. Thank you.
What is the purpose of the video?
Do I have to answer that question?
Well, yeah, because it
Well,
may be that you're breaking the law by if you
doing what? What law do you think I've broken?
Well, we'll start with GDPR rules.
Okay, that's nothing to do with the police, is it?
Is it not?
No. And it isn't anyway, because I'm public. I'm in public. I can film anything I can see in public, can't I?
Yeah, you can film in public.
Yeah.
But if you're overflying private premises and
Yeah.
videoing stuff that's on there, then
Yeah.
that becomes a little bit of an issue.
No, incorrect, officer. I'm sorry, you're incorrect.
During the conversation, the officer wrongly claims that the auditor has broken GDPR laws. The auditor quickly corrects him, explaining that GDPR is about how businesses handle personal data, not about someone filming in public. Recording in public is legal, and GDPR doesn't apply. Even though this is a simple legal fact, many officers still get it wrong. The officer uses GDPR as an excuse to challenge public filming, throwing around legal terms he doesn't understand instead of following the real law.
So every aeroplane, hot air balloon, glider goes over, they're not allowed to video, is that what you're saying?
Well, aeroplanes won't be able to pick up as much detail as a drone overflying some specific premises.
Small aeroplanes?
What is the purpose behind? What interest do you have in filming?
It's mine. I like industrial estates, so I go to industrial estates making videos of companies I find interesting. Are you recording? It's flashing. There's a green light flashing.
Yes, it is.
Is that recording?
Flashing red, then I'll be recording.
Right, okay.
The green is not recording, so
Right,
what law
because
have I broken?
we don't know, you see, so we don't know that. So, but if you are not recording, that's fine. But you would have, one of your procedures you would have broke if you hadn't told me that.
Why is that?
Because you have to inform me. As well, you mentioned
I can
GDPR.
film anything I want in public. You've just come back.
No, not you. No, you're filming it as a company. You're an officer working for the law. You have to, via GDPR rules, you have to tell me. Like the sign on the gate there saying they're filming people.
Instead of admitting he was wrong, the officer tries to sound smart by repeating the auditor's words, saying he can film anything he wants in public. But this doesn't work. The auditor immediately corrects him, explaining that police officers must follow GDPR rules when using body cameras, including telling people they are being recorded. This shows the double standard. Officers question the public for filming, but forget their own responsibilities to be open and accountable.
GDPR works that way. Do you not understand that GDPR works that way?
Okay. So, what are we going to do about you filming? Because it's clearly causing annoyance to people.
That's not my problem. I'm in the public area filming. I'm not annoying anybody. They're annoying me, to be honest. They're actually annoying me.
Called the police.
And they're annoying me. They come out and annoy me. He did. They annoyed me. I don't report them because I thought, well, just go back to work and leave me to it. So if you think I'm breaking any laws, then please quote the laws I'm breaking. Because I'm not breaking any law here.
This is a clear example of poor policing. Instead of following the law, the officer focuses on people's feelings, even though no crime has been committed. The auditor is legally filming in public, and being annoying or making someone uncomfortable is not a crime. Police aren't there to enforce emotions, but officers often get involved in situations where nothing illegal is happening just because someone dislikes it. Here, the officer has no real reason to act, so he tries to pressure the auditor by focusing on feelings. But feeling uncomfortable does not override legal rights, and an officer should know that.
You seem a bit annoyed and that you can't get me on anything. That's wrong, isn't it, surely?
It's not the fact that I can't get you on anything, it's just that if you are causing somebody enough annoyance and they're worried about people's private details being published on the internet and what have you, because there are certain things that are visible from or to your drone camera.
Yeah.
And they are rightly concerned that those will be published on the internet.
Absolutely, can be concerned. Put them inside. Because anybody, I can go on that public path and fly my drone. I could have done it secretly. I let them know what I'm doing.
Okay, but from their point of view,
yeah,
can you see why it would cause an annoyance if you are entirely in the right and you are exercising your right as a person to do something that they don't want you to do?
Yeah. That's
and
right.
You refuse to stop when you've been asked, even though it's their premises that are affected by your actions.
Well, they said there, we're highly secret, blah, blah, blah. They're a fragrance company. I'm like, highly secret fragrances, really? You know, people really build themselves up to be bigger than they are, just to try to stop people exercising their God-given right, legal rights in this country, legal rights in this country, to video anything I can see from a public place.
Many companies act like their own rules are more important than the law, saying that filming their property is illegal when it isn't. Security guards, managers, and staff often misuse terms like GDPR, privacy laws, and company policy, even though they can't legally enforce these rules on people in public. This is more about control than the law. Instead of accepting that public filming is allowed, some businesses escalate the situation, threaten to call the police, and waste police time just because they don't like being recorded. The auditor pointing this out shows a bigger problem. Private companies pretending they have more authority than they really do, trying to scare people instead of respecting legal rights.
I can video anything I can see from public place.
Does it not then become an issue because you can't see it from a public place because your drone is going into a private place to take these images?
It's flying over in the airspace, which is controlled by the Civil Aviation Authority, and I obey all the laws for flying my drone. Civil Aviation Authority, there's no restrictions flying in this area, on this estate, wherever, so I can fly my drone free will all over this place. I feel you're annoyed. I don't understand. You're not the feelings police. You've got to remember this. You're not the feelings police. You're here to feel.
I'm not the feelings police. I just find it incomprehensible that
But you're like him. It's not up to you to understand what I'm here to do. It's not up to you to understand that, is it? If I'm here and not breaking any law, then basically you need to just walk away and let them know he's not breaking any law. Leave him to it.
What makes this situation worse is that the auditor has to tell the officer to leave, which shouldn't be necessary. A police officer shouldn't stay at a scene where no crime is happening just because they feel annoyed or uncomfortable. Instead of acting professionally, the officer stays, showing that the real problem is his personal issue with the auditor, not the law. This is another example of poor policing. Rather than protecting people's rights, the officer lets his frustration guide his actions, focusing on feelings instead of following the law.
If a delivery is out in the yard waiting to be picked up and people's, their clients' details, addresses and what have you are on display.
Tell me this, officer. Do they have the right to tell me to stop videoing?
I think they've probably got the right to stop you from overflying their premises.
No, you're wrong. You're incorrect.
I think they probably do.
I think you're incorrect.
If you look at the contracts when you buy a house, the property you own, and you also own the airspace above it.
Maybe you
doesn't
do.
stop at the roof of the house.
Maybe you do. That's all a bit grey, but...
So if you're overflying their property, then that does become a point where...
Right. Can you hear in the sky?
Sorry?
Can you hear him in the sky? There's an airplane flying over.
Yes, there is.
So has he asked him if he can fly over his property? He's gone over his property.
As the officer keeps making weak arguments, the perfect example appears. A plane flies overhead. The auditor points it out and asks if the plane needs permission to fly over someone's property. This immediately shows how flawed the officer's logic is. The officer has no answer because businesses don't own the air above them. Similarly, drones flying legally don't need landowners' permission. This moment shows how unreasonable it is for the business and the police to try to control legal drone flights. The auditor's quick response proves their argument was weak and uninformed, and the officer had no real reason to challenge him.
See, what you're saying is a bit silly. I understand what you're saying. People kind of have this thing, they do own some of it.
Can your drone fly at 20,000
I think
feet?
obviously if they don't want you flying over, like next to their businesses where there's information shown and things like that, I think they're polite, so politely have to stop. Obviously I appreciate you've said it's escalated. If they'd like you to stop, then just want to keep things,
But what about my thing? So what about me? I've come here to make videos and I want to make the video, so what about my thing? What about respect for me?
You could just please not get any kind of private information involved in that.
Well, that's not on me though, that's on them. You can't, if they've left private information out.
If you do publish these videos online,
Yep.
can you make sure that the information is unreadable?
I'll do my best if I think it's confidential, but you can't see anything. I'm 30, 40, 50 metres up. I can't even make faces out, you know what I mean? And everybody goes mad about it. It's ridiculous.
If a company really has private or sensitive information, it should protect it instead of leaving it visible and blaming someone for filming it from public areas. The auditor explains that his drone flies 30, 40, or even 50 meters high, so it can't capture small details like faces or private documents. This shows that the argument against him is weak. Instead of accepting that the business is responsible for protecting its own information, they try to shift the blame. The officers have no real legal reason to act, so they rely on what-if scenarios and emotions instead of following the law.
What's your name, sir?
I don't give that information out, I'm sorry. Do I need to? Think carefully what you're going to say next. I know there's one answer to this and it begins with N.
So the answer begins with
N.
N for...
No. When I said, do I need to?
Well,
No, there's not a well, there's no buts to it. It's either a yes or a no.
it's open to interpretation. It depends, because if I feel that you've been involved in ASP, then yes, you do.
ASP?
The Police Reform Act.
What's ASP?
Social behaviour.
Antisocial behaviour?
Yes.
When the auditor asks if he has to comply, the officer shockingly says it depends. If he feels the auditor has been involved in antisocial behavior. The problem is the law is based on facts, not personal feelings. The Police Reform Act 2002, Section 50, lets officers ask for a name only when there is real evidence of antisocial behavior, not just an officer's opinion. By saying, "if I feel," the officer shows his approach is vague and subjective. This is not proper law enforcement. Officers can't decide based on personal feelings whether someone must follow a legal demand.
I think you'll be on a lawsuit against you if you arrested me for antisocial behaviour, for a man with a camera, then I think you'll be into a...
Suggesting that having
I will take you to court. I will take you to court for
I'm
that.
suggesting, however, that you've been involved in an altercation, either one side or the other, and if I decide that that constitutes antisocial behaviour, then I can require you to provide me with your name and address details.
You can, if you think I've committed a crime. But do you think I've committed a
If you've been
crime?
involved in ASP.
No, if you think I've committed a crime, you can ask
If you've been
me.
involved in ASP, that's how it works.
If you think I've committed a crime, if you think, that's right, you're thinking I've been involved in the ASP, which is a crime, isn't it? So if you think I've committed a crime...
ASP isn't necessarily a crime, but one of the police powers that we have is to request the information from somebody who's been involved in ASP.
Right.
So you've been involved in an argument because you've refused to comply with somebody else's wishes.
Feelings, please. Again, we're back to the feelings, please.
This shows how officers can misuse antisocial behavior laws to try to force people to comply. Simply saying no or exercising your rights is not antisocial behavior. If it were, any disagreement could be treated as a crime, which is clearly wrong. Antisocial behavior laws are meant for harassment, intimidation, and truly disruptive actions, not for punishing lawful activities just because someone dislikes them. The officer's attempt to twist the law shows poor training and a lack of legal understanding. Instead of protecting people's rights, he is using vague rules to justify actions with no real legal basis.
It's not feelings, police. You know that there has been a confrontation between you and somebody else.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That to me is antisocial behaviour.
From his side, correct, yeah.
Okay. So
Go get their name and address and all the information.
We'll be going over there in a minute.
It's not antisocial behaviour, it's
Would
rubbish.
you like just to provide your details? Obviously, you've said there's been a crime of public order because they've shouted and sworn at you. You don't want to make a complaint. Would you like to provide your details to go on the crime report?
At this time, no. If I get home and I feel that I do need to, when I watch the video back and I do feel that it was bad enough,
Can I
then
give you the instant number then? Just to
yes, please, absolutely give me the instant. Yeah,
If
definitely.
you'd like to provide your details.
Yep. So I'll write that down.
It is.
Right, but you won't be getting my name because if I did it anonymously. So if you're thinking that I'm going to do that, so you get my name.
No. It's just obviously if you want to provide your details.
What's the date
Is
today?
there any particular reason you won't provide your details?
Yes, one massive one.
What's that?
I don't want to.
What would it gain by withholding your details?
What would it gain? Now, okay,
Lose you to provide
right. So let me just reverse that back. So what it would gain for you if I provide my details, that goes straight.
Spoken to.
It goes. Doesn't matter though, does it? It goes straight on your intel. You put this description, my name, all my details on your intel. I don't want to be on your intel.
You're
So
doing nothing wrong. What's the harm?
no, you can't use that. No, I have.
That's a question. I'm not using it. I'm asking you a
Well,
question.
yeah. Well, you can't say if you're doing nothing wrong, why don't you give your name? That's just rubbish, isn't it? I don't have to give my name, do I?
You don't.
And I don't want to. It's as simple as
That's
that.
fine, you don't want to. But what would be the harm?
I've just told you, it'll go on your intel. So it'll go against the incident, it'll go on your intel. I don't want to be on your systems, thank you. Exactly what I say about the record.
This is a clear example of why officers sometimes ask for personal details even when no crime has been committed. Often, it's a way to gather information and add people to police databases without a valid reason. Officers may act like giving details is harmless, but it's really about tracking people unnecessarily. If there's no legal reason to demand information, there's no reason to provide it. The auditor pointing this out shows how officers can collect data on innocent people. This isn't about enforcing the law. It's about controlling people.
Okay, so if you get into trouble, somebody beats you up for the things that you're doing and you won't stop when they ask you to, you get beaten up and then
Yep.
we come across you. How do we know who you are? It might help us.
Well, I think when you come, I'll give you my name then. What?
We don't know. You don't want to give it.
Well, I would if I got beaten up and I'm going to take them to court ready to do, or get you guys to do something about it, then I
Anything
wouldn't.
else we can help with?
Not for me, no. I don't know if you want to speak to these guys,
We'll
but
have a chat with them over there and obviously
Absolutely.
side of things as well.
yeah, no problem. Okay.
Very much indeed
All right.
for your time.
Thank you. Cheers. It's a walk of shame.
The interaction finally ends, but not because the first officer realized his mistakes. Another officer had to step in. This shows how badly the first officer handled the situation. He didn't understand the law, relied on feelings instead of facts, and used every tactic to pressure the auditor. From wrongly citing GDPR to asking for personal information and twisting antisocial behavior laws, it was clear he cared more about control than respecting legal rights. The auditor hadn't broken any laws, yet the officer tried to justify his actions by stretching legal definitions. Instead of respecting the auditor's right to film in public, he treated him like a problem. This was one of the worst examples of policing, showing an officer who didn't know the law, refused to admit it, and escalated unnecessarily. The situation only ended when a second officer stepped in, proving why filming the police is so important. Without a camera, incidents like this could go completely unchecked.